Okay, it's October. So now what? Halloween? Do you celebrate Halloween? The culture has done such a great job at convincing kids that this is such an awesome holiday. And I'm no different. When I was a kid, I loved Halloween. I loved it as a kid, because then you get candy and you hang out with your friends and you get to dress up. And then when I was a young adult kid, I loved Halloween for all the mischief and for all the craziness. And it was just like, it's almost like The Purge, right? That movie where it's just a day that you get to act wild. This was my cultural upbringing to Halloween. Like, I totally thought it was cool and there was no problem with it. And we went to church. And my mom is like a hero in the faith. And yet it was never discussed, never even crossed my mind that it was a little weird. And there was one family in my neighborhood who wouldn't celebrate Halloween. They wouldn't celebrate a lot of the stuff. And we thought they were like the weird Christians, like the super Christians, because I was a Christian and I went to church, but yet I celebrated Halloween. Now with what is in view, and if you don't see it, now I'm not here to say you do or don't and shame people who celebrate Halloween. I'm just saying I'm not a fan. Like, it's clearly celebrating death. But I like watching Facebook because I used to be the guy. I wouldn't go on Facebook and talk about it, but it bothered me the past couple years, and it's just walking up to Halloween was a time that made me uneasy, and I didn't want my kids to celebrate it, and I didn't want the neighborhood to be completely covered in spookiness and death and all that crap. But I'm coming to this maturity of being a son of God that, like, it don't matter. This is why new creation theology is like so cool to me, and this new found realization that God is in me and I am in him. That's very biblical. But have you ever considered it being like water in water? If you pour water in a bucket of water, if you pour a glass of water in a bucket of water, where does one start and one stop? That's the Holy Spirit. That's Jesus Christ in me. So do you think Jesus is scared of Halloween? I mean, I don't. Does he like it? I imagine he don't, but he wants to hang out with the people. And if that's what the people are doing, he's in the middle of it. So I have no concern, zero concern over it anymore. And this is a revelation to me. And where teachers like Tommy Miller and Chris Blackaby and Dub Alexander and Nancy Cohen, look, I'm not saying go celebrate Halloween. You do you. But I'm saying it don't bother me anymore. And I'm not going around rebuking everything. Like, I am light. There is no darkness in me. And there's not, and I didn't do that, and I didn't earn that. And so where I go, light goes with me. And I don't have to rebuke for that to happen. And I don't have to, it's just me. That's who I am. Now, I'm a big believer in speaking that out. That words is what changes reality. So I have to continually speak that. But it's just a different a different feel this year, different time this year. Past couple years, I kind of like dreaded Halloween, like, especially like the first year, like I was so zealous in 2020 when I had this awakening event, and all I could see was darkness on Halloween. And now all I can see is Jesus everywhere. And that Jesus overcame all of that. And that's all a figment of our imagination. Are evil spirits real? Yeah, but they have no power over me, or my family, or my territory. They have no power. Only power they have is any power that we decide to give them. Now they're real, but the more people realize who they are, the collective consciousness and the collective vibration of the entire earth raises, and these things are destroyed, and these things flip. I'm convinced we can flip these things. And I don't know how that works, but I'm just gonna be me. Beloved Son of God, well pleased, and I'm working on the listen to him. That's why I have a channel. 54 subscribers. By the time this comes out, we'll see how many are on here. I mean, gotta start somewhere. You know, sometimes you walk past somebody and it's just like they seem mad. I don't know. I don't ever want to seem mad. What's the point? I guess being mad, angry, it's so, like, if you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be angry, right? We're just not supposed to sin in our anger. So like taking anger to another level with like rage, right? If you're angry over something important and of something of value, it's okay. You just can't let it tip you. Okay. I mean, Halloween's wild to me, and watching Facebook is just entertaining, because you have a whole camp of people who I like a lot and who I used to be one of, just telling everybody you're a horrible person if you celebrate Christian, and you are a horrible Christian if you're a horrible person if you celebrate Halloween, or a horrible Christian if you celebrate Halloween. And now I just think it's stupid. Everyone walks in their own faith. Now the real thing to me is, how the heck am I seeing Harris wall signs everywhere? I live in a suburb of DC, so it's straight liberal up here. These people are wild. The only thing I can really wrap my head around is, if you're voting for Walz and Harris, then you have some level of affluency, like you are in a spot where this last 4 years hasn't really affected you that bad, at least yet. And so you don't really think they caused it, or think that they are part of the problem. And for some reason you're just in your feels about number 45. I'm having a really hard time understanding why anyone, other than just being like stupid or deceived, and I don't want to call anybody stupid, you're just acting foolishly, like from your belly. Like, did you see that commercial that she had about the dudes? What? it's kind of a running joke now. You can like see someone and say, oh, there's a Harris voter. But the sneaky ones are the like all these rich people around me who haven't really been affected, and they want status quo. And it's that lower middle class, this decimated middle class individual who really thinks Trump is going to do something different. I think it's just something different. Some have obviously taken it way too far and really love this guy and idolize this guy. I'm not saying that. And he could very well be ushering in a CBDC and be completely part of the agenda. That very well could be the case. But I know for a fact the other side is that. So one maybe, and one definitely is. You got to choose. I mean, we all have a choice. And I just think that so many people have lost so much that they recognize it and just want something different. You tell me what this stuff is. What is that? Because you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. Right? What is that line? And they're everywhere. And they create a tic-tac-toe pattern over our skies and completely turn into a white, hazy mist. So were these hurricanes modified? I mean, I would say yeah, but there's a lot of people that say no, and they say you're straight up crazy for thinking that. And I just think that you're, again, foolish or deceived if you don't. It's wild to me. The data's there, but nobody wants to look. And then everything's like, you're a conspiracy theory. You're a conspiracy theorist. Like, okay, bro. At this point, 4 years in, really 8 years in, if you go back to 16, I mean, this thing's been running. This machine, this wake-up machine has turned on for 10 years. And if you still think this is exhaust, like, I don't know what's gonna wake you up. I don't. Either way, I love you. I bless you. I love you on the other side of the camera. And the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine on you, and give you peace. KB13.com. I'm really trying to do the thing. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I got the books coming out, free content. Hook me up. Be blessed by the best.